Okay, hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. And I want to go over the recently released freestyles and ciphers for the XXL 2022 freshman class. I have them ranked. We're going to go over those lists in this video because I'm going to be talking about the ciphers and the freestyles at once. I'm not going to belabor my points on every single performance and artist, and I think you'll see at least there is some consistency in terms of like who's grouping toward the top, who's grouping toward the bottom, and I will go over generally like what made, each artist either impress me or fall kind of flat. Before we get into these rankings, let me give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Good People at the Ridge. They still make these fantastic, awesome, amazing, rugged, minimalist, sleek wallets that fit nicely in that front pocket. Hit up the link down below, promo code melon, all you gotta do. Let's go over the freestyles. I have them ranked from my top artist at the top, bottom artist at the bottom. Let's start at the bottom here. I'm not going to, again, go over every single freestyle here because a lot of what is grouped toward the bottom here, it's pretty much for the same reasons. Freestyles wise, Babyface Ray, Big Scar, Nardo Wick, and to an extent, Sofago, though he is not as great an offender here. Everybody asleep at the wheel. Did we just wake up from a nap? Did we take some melatonin before we started to perform here? Either way, just like so unimpressive, like not really doing much, not going anywhere, not really much to mull over, just like completely boring, completely lifeless, completely uninteresting in every single way that I can imagine. Are there degrees to which, one is better than the other? Yes, of course, because they are ranked, but, believe me, there's not a lot of daylight between the bottom four in this list. Moving on from there, Big 30 actually did kind of impressed me a little bit, even though I wasn't really crazy about a lot of the tracks that I heard leading up to the ciphers and freestyles, as did Ken the Man, though I kind of expected that, though, bars and delivery there didn't necessarily blow me away or nothing. As I kind of predicted, like, she does very much fall comfortably in this lane that we've heard previous freshmen fall into, be it Lotto, be it Megan Thee Stallion, and, while Ken the Man doesn't, to me, come out ahead in that lane per se, she performs within it very solidly. You can't really take anything away from her. Casey's performance, I thought was pretty good, but I will say the choir that he had with him in the freestyle kind of carried. I mean, I think a lot of the appeal, at least half of the appeal of the freestyle for me, kind of boiled down to the unique dynamic that created. Babytron performed pretty much as I expected. He was funny, he was straightforward. I'm glad that he didn't like punch in all of his lines and it was an actual freaking freestyle. That being said, he didn't exactly pop out to me in terms of vocal performance, and much of what he brought here on this freestyle, you could pretty much get in a Babytron track. So it's not like he really kind of showed you a new side of him or anything like that, which is why I liked the Callie freestyle so much because, despite her music being so sensual and whispery and low key a lot of the time, she really came fucking through with a no bullshit verse that was quite cutthroat. That's why she ranked so high, and I really liked what she brought to the table. As with Cochise, even though Cochise, I think consistently on his tracks, on his projects, has shown himself to be a bit of a, derivative Cardi biter, really just kind of a low-ranking rapper on this rage wave. But with that being said, he came through with a fantastic freestyle. Fantastic. There was wordplay. He was expressive. A lot of the bars, especially toward the end, were quite personal, especially as he was talking about, religion and God and that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, Cochise, I think, really did come through with a top 3 performance here, a top 3 spot. And I was just surprised. I didn't know that he had this sort of thing in him. And I would love to hear something more like this on more future tracks, honestly, because, while I understand kind of the banger mode that many of his songs sit in, hearing something more along these lines, creating balance with that, it doesn't just need to be this. It doesn't just need to be the other thing. Would be refreshing. Would be great. That's all I'm saying. Saucy Santana ranked high as I anticipated he would. Some of the most hilarious and witty one-liners to come out of all of these freestyles came out of this Saucy Santana performance. Solid bars, great performance and focus. And then it's the number 1 freestyle, and that's got to be Doechii. I thought Doechii would rank high, and oh my God, she did. Like, not only bar for bar do I think she came through with the best, pen game here, but like, fuck. The switch ups and the inflections and the expression. My God, like she did not let up. She kind of blew everybody else out of the water. Like, you know, like boom, 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 boom. Like there's a wide kind of gap of creativity between Doechii on this freestyle and everybody else here. It's actually kind of incredible. Big Nicki influence coming off of it as well. But Doechii wears it well. Moving on from there, let's just hit up the ciphers really quick. We have at the bottom a Babytron. We have Babytron at the bottom. Not because I think that his bars or his performance generally was trash, but again, I feel like what he does here in this Cypher is just kind of exposing, again, like a lack of versatility. While Babytron does a thing and it's an instantly recognizable thing and he does it well, the fact that he couldn't do it over that beat and the beat needed to stop and he essentially gave us another freestyle as opposed to, you know, like a Cypher performance that was kind of in line or in vibe with everybody else that was there, maybe even like competitive in some way. No, he just kind of had almost like an XXX Tentacion kind of moment where everything needed to fall back and then he did his thing. It doesn't reflect well on his versatility. Now, moving on from there, I would say, bottom three beyond that, pretty much the same case with the freestyles. Like everybody, just no charisma, asleep at the wheel. The flow is coming in spurts, just weak performance overall. I would say that also extends a little bit to Casey and Fago. While their performances were not nearly as unimpressive, they didn't exactly stand out. Babyface Ray actually performed way better than I thought he was going to, given the quality of his freestyle. For whatever reason, over this beat, in this Cypher, he really did come alive a little bit, and I really appreciated that. Callie kind of sat back into more of a low-key tone, as we have heard on many previous tracks. And you know what? It was sensual. It was cool. It was catchy. She came through and had a demeanor and had an aura about her performance that was unlike everybody else there. She stood out by that reason and by that reason alone. And man, for whatever reason, like Big 30 really came through in the Cypher performance with like a relentless verse. Dude sounded hungry as hell. Again, I don't know what sparked it in him to do what he did on this beat in this Cypher, but he did it and he sounded fantastic despite, as far as like studio recordings, not being the most standout artist of the bunch. And in terms of freestyles, far from being the most standout artist in the bunch, but he like really came through with an easy, like top 5 performance here, as did Ken the Man, who I think had some of the wittiest one-liners of all of these Cypher performances here, certainly stood out vocally as well in the group that she was bunched in. And then just like with the freestyles, Saucy Santana and Doechii came out on top. Though Doechii, I will say, didn't exactly have like the same demeanor or energy as she did in the freestyles, but I still think like when you analyze it bar for bar, I think she came through with some of the most clever material here. I will say this though, in terms of like, Doechii coming out ahead of Saucy or vice versa, the gap in quality or performance like in the ciphers between them is much narrower. Like this easily could have gone to Saucy as well, in my opinion. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that I sort of felt that they would stick out as the two most well-written and the two most eccentric and the two boldest in the bunch. And I'm really happy to, see that ended up being the case once the ciphers and the freestyles actually rolled out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Did you watch them? Did you check them out? How would you rank everybody? Who impressed you? Who didn't really impress you? And yeah, I think I will leave it there. You're the best. Anthony Fantano, Cyphers, XXL, 22 Freshmen, forever.